Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Welcome to the Texas Ticket Show. My name is Armando, and I'm with the Texas Ticket. You can find us on Facebook.com/TXTicket. Thank you for joining us today. We have a show with surprises today. I've got Bar A Barbecues, Mr. Cooper Abercrombie, that's joining us. He's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on down there and some events coming up, a little feedback from Montgomery, and we'll end the show with the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show. All the poppin' stuff that we've pulled out and some stuff we just wanted to bring notation to that maybe didn't get enough beat that we want to share it with you. So we'll have that at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. And let's get this one started with Cooper Abercrombie from Bar A Barbecue. Welcome to the show, Cooper.
What's up, buddy? Thanks for having me in.
Man, I'm glad you're here. I could put a hand out with all my favorite things on the planet, and up in the top 5, I would say comfortably, is barbecue.
Yeah, mine as well. So,
yeah. What do you mean you're not going to be any barbecue? I might opt out, So I am excited about your new place, and I've heard nothing but great stuff coming out of there. I have yet to get down there and get into it, but I've read the Texas Monthly article you were in and talked about some of the routes and some of the you worked with their #1 barbecue joint that they have like year over year. What was that place?
That was Goldie's Barbecue.
There it is, Goldie's, yeah.
Kennedale, just south of Arlington.
Those guys are killing it.
Yeah, they are. They are killing it for sure. The volume they're doing is unbelievable out there. And it's just
I've seen those plates.
Yeah.
They look amazing, those trays and stuff with all the food on it. And I mean, that's my kind of eating. I really do like that. But it's got to be good. A plate full of bad food.
It'll ruin your day for a couple of days, yeah. There's nothing worse than bad barbecue and burping up for 3 or 4 days afterwards.
And that takes technique, that burping up part you're talking about. I'm real familiar. I mean, I'm not real familiar as if it happens to me a lot, but I know in barbecue, if the brisket's not made the right way, it'll make you really gassy, windy the next day. I mean, and not really like, I don't know, it's different. It's part of the prep that changes that part, and I love to smoke meats, and I've really been getting into that, the last 15 years of my life, trying to perfect how I work everything from a pork butt to a brisket to my ribs and versus folks that tell me, hey, we're barbecuing, you go over there cooking hot dogs and hamburgers, and I'm like, man, that doesn't count.
California barbecue.
That's not a barbecue.
That's what we call it.
We got hot dogs. Yeah. And no matter when they ask you what temperature do you like it at, they're all the same. Like, why would you even ask?
Yeah, medium rare hot dog. Yeah.
How do you like your hot dogs? They're all the same.
They're all blistered and on a bun.
So let's get down to it. There are some thoughts about I guess that go universal to a brisket, to a pork butt, and you can correct me here. And I've been smoking my chuck roasts lately and bringing those together to get that ring and get them soft, and that's been my current science. But nevertheless, I still had to create that bark, you know what I mean, and get that tight before I wrapped and started smoking. Tell me a little bit about that bark and how you put something like that together.
Yeah, we just season with salt and pepper, pretty liberally with the pepper. The biggest thing I think for bark is a lot of people wrap way too early, or they put way too much moisture in the cook chamber. We don't spritz, we don't have water pans, we don't wrap until the brisket's actually done. So, everyone kind of says, oh, wrap it 165 or 170 or whatever. No, we watch our fires really, really closely, and if you run your fires right or your heat source right, you don't need to wrap that until it's done.
And you're running oak and an offset smoker.
Yeah, we
now.
use post oak. We get 3 cords a month delivered from a gentleman over in Austin, Mike Sierra. Brings us really, really good stuff. It's already seasoned. It's cut to the specific length we want. It's certain moisture content we look for. He gets all that to us.
So did you like a mustard rub or anything on it first,
No,
or
no,
just a wetness to get it to?
If anything, we might put a little bit of water, just kind of moisten the surface a little bit, but you don't want it super, super moist because you'll start having some patchiness
Yeah.
on whatever protein you're cooking. But maybe just a little bit of water and then just pretty heavy. You know, you definitely, I see a lot of people mix the rubs and then try and season it together. We do pepper and then we go back over it with salt. You know, those smaller salt granules, if you've put them on first, your pepper's not going to adhere to whatever you're putting it on there. And your pepper is a big part of the bark that everyone's looking for.
I get that, yeah, because it wouldn't stick properly.
And two, it's like, hey, you know, as you know, we're really, really intent on what we do, and you know, we try our food every day before service, every single, you know, protein, all of our sides, and if something's maybe under salted or over salted, it's a lot easier to go just say, hey, just cut back when you're individually seasoning stuff. Versus, you know, you put it all in a shaker, you never know how much salt or pepper's come out at one time.
Yeah. So you just hit it with less P&G and just smoke wrap it, put it in there till it's done, and then come back and wrap when you're ready at the time.
When it's done, you know, whenever you think it's done, and you know, done is different for different people. You know, we pull a little bit under, you know, because our food goes in warmers overnight. It kind of has to with the pit space we have, but
yeah, and that'll keep cooking it a little bit and get it nice and tender.
Yeah, so they'll break down a little bit more in the warmer, but for the most part, once they come off the pit, they're pretty much done. You know.
So as a technique, what I did for the and I was kind of new to the chuck roast. Like I said, I'm experimenting there. My chuck roast lab.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I've been getting a bark on it, but then after I get my bark, I'll wrap a little earlier than normal, and then put it in like a beef consomme or something in a pan rather than a foil wrap. Because, you know, it's a little tougher meat. And have you ever seen anything like that helping with a brisket?
We personally have never done that, but that sounds like maybe something in the competition world that those guys do.
You get it really soft.
Yeah, it's probably going to get really, really soft doing that. But, you know, again, if you watch your fires right and run your pit right, you're not going to have to do all that extra stuff.
So how's business down at Barry?
It's been good. It's been good. You know, going into Labor Day, we had a really, really good Labor Day week. Been a little bit slower the last 2 weeks, but we kind of know that it's not just us; it's the entire industry. A little slow right there. Everyone spends 3 days grilling and chilling Labor Day weekend, and the last thing you want is, you know, barbecue. So we get it. So we have enough friends in the industry, and you know, we kind of know what trends are coming during certain weeks, time of the year. So we just adjust labor and food and.
And when you say you mean you and your brother, right?
Yeah, me, my brother, and my wife.
Okay.
We're all three owners in the business. We have some of the people on staff that are, you know, very crucial to what we do, but it's us three that are there, 6-7 days a week.
Yeah. As the pit master, you got to cook it all, don't you? It's not like a normal restaurant.
We're open 4 days, but I'm there 7 days, 15 to 18 hours a day.
And you're doing some of that old school stuff, like the cornbread and the...
Yeah. So all of our sides and desserts are straight from Grandma's cookbook, which is the old church cookbook. So, you know, it's all from scratch, how Grandma did it and how Grandpa made it. So that's what we do.
So why Montgomery? Why did you pick one of the barbecue capitals of Texas?
Yeah. Born and raised here in Montgomery.
Okay.
Daddy was a football coach here in the 90s. He's back here at, you know, one of the new junior highs, and I grew up here, loved everything about Montgomery, never wanted to leave, but you know, when Dad moves, you got to go. So
everybody comes back.
Yeah, everybody. It's been my goal to get back to Montgomery.
Everybody comes back
ever since we left.
Yeah. So. Well, cool. Have you run into a lot of old faces from back in the day?
I have. I've had a lot of buddies and friends from, you know, when I was a kid that, you know, come and eat at our place every week, every other week. So it's nice to get to see that.
How did Texas Monthly get eyes on you?
That, man, I don't know exactly how they work. I know I have inklings on how they do it. They go about their process from some people I've talked to, but I've been told that, you know, Daniel Vaughn's kind of he is the guy as far as the editor for Texas Monthly. You know, and there's thousands and thousands of barbecue joints across the state. It's hard to think one guy can get by every single place. But I've been told he has quite a big staff below him that is out scouting, you know, your certain areas. And
but you were relatively new at the time too. That's
like,
I
mean, we've been popping up. You know, we started this about 5 years ago. We started it with just a tent and going to different local bars and breweries and all that around the greater Houston area. And it went from that to a trailer to the restaurant. And over time, if you do enough on social media, people kind of start seeing what you're doing. They come out and check you out. And, yeah, we had Daniel Vaughn walked in like 2 weeks after we opened in brick and mortar, which wasn't the best timing for us. A lot of new everything.
Yeah.
Just got a brand new cooker at the time, so we're trying to figure that one out at the time. And but he had nothing but good things to say, and the article he wrote, I thought, reflected that too.
I think some of our hometown stuff is just so natural. We don't have to really, when we're in our element, we don't have to work that hard to like, hey, be a Texan for a minute. Can you do that? And I'm like, well, yeah. Okay, make barbecue. All right. Yeah, sure. Can you do that? Absolutely. I mean, I think we're on the ready with a few parts of our, and you've been doing this a long time, just making barbecue. Did you grow up making the barbecue at home, you and your brother?
No. We, our barbecue was getting a chopped beef sandwich at like Junior's down in Wharton, where my grandmother lived. It was just getting a chopped beef and some fries or hush puppies. No, when I lived out in the Carolinas for a couple years with my first, big boy job out of college. And, when we got pregnant with our first kid, we moved back to Texas, me and my wife. And when you buy a house, you buy a smoker because you got to have a smoker on the back porch. Threw a brisket on. It was terrible, and I don't like being bad at things. So when I'm bad at something, I just get obsessed with it. And I just every waking second I was cooking a brisket or doing something.
It's fun. I enjoy cooking meat out there.
And it just kind of goes from that. And it got to the point where I was quote unquote experimenting so much. My wife was like, "Hey, you got to either stop buying brisket all the time or start selling this stuff because we can't just afford to keep buying brisket."
Yeah, and you have brisket with every meal.
Yeah.
You'll end up having that smoked brisket and eggs, and then smoked brisket.
We've put it in every dish.
Huevo ranchero smoked brisket style over you.
Absolutely.
Brisket, queso brisket. Gold.
If you can put meat in it, we put brisket in there, I can promise you.
Well, there was about the name Bar A. Well, what's the meaning of Bar A?
So, Bar A is my younger brother. Used to be one of the head herdsmen at the V8 Ranch down in Bowling, Texas. One of the biggest Brahman operations in the world.
See. All right.
And he ended up starting Bar A Cattle Company as a side gig where he raised and helped kids in the show cattle world. And so when we went full time with the barbecue and decided it was gonna be a real thing, I just kind of called him up and said, "Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and steal Bar A and we're gonna call it Bar A Barbecue over here." And didn't really give him an option, so he was cool with it. But he's a younger brother, so who cares?
There you go. There's a lot of things that happen barbecue related in Montgomery County. Now you've got something coming up over in at your place, don't you? A&M.
Yeah. So the A&M Arkansas game, September 30th. I think it just got announced. 11 a.m. kickoff. We've got a big 80-inch TV out at the back.
Oh, really?
Restaurant.
Oh, cool.
So we'll have the game on. We're going to be doing some hog belly. We're going to do kind of a crispy skin hog belly, chopped up, kind of like Carolina style with a vinegar sauce. So. We're going to have some of the Aggie game day crew out there for the day. We've got Bad Astronaut Brewery coming out, giving away sampling free beer that day as well. So
free beer.
It's going to be a good day.
You heard it, free beer in Montgomery.
Yeah, we do free beer every day of the week.
And that's Saturday?
Wednesday through Saturday, there's a cooler full of free beer in the restaurant.
Well, that's awesome. But the A&M thing is Saturday.
Yes, that'll be September 30th at the restaurant.
September 30th.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, there's a lot of other, I guess, barbecue-related stuff. Do you follow the fan base if you have time to do these things in the community that are like example, Sunstar Brewery here in Conroe they make Bombshell Blonde and some other beers here. They're having a backyard pit masters brisket U class. Like Brisket University, so they're doing a class to teach barbecue. Had you considered doing things like this, or do you see yourself doing anything like
we
that?
Actually allow people. I've actually got a guy at the restaurant now. We get hit up all the time for hey, I want to come spend a week and learn or whatever, and
Oh, I see. Okay.
You can 100% come out and do that with us. We do charge a fee. It kind of depends on all you want to
Where I
know
just look
or
over
what
your
you
shoulder
wanna
the
do.
whole time? And
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any secrets. We'll tell you.
you're like, that's a
anything and
6-hour
everything.
smoke, or an
Yeah.
8-hour smoke.
So,
I
you
hope you
know,
got time.
This guy, he flew in from California, got here. He flew in last night, got in about midnight, he said, got a rental car, and he's in a hotel till Sunday.
Just to watch you cook barbecue.
Wants to open up a restaurant out in California and wants to do what we're doing. So
It's good to get a real touch to it. At least he knew where to go.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, there's got to be a lot to that, and people just automatically assume we know how to make barbecue. But I'll tell you, there's a big difference between one plate of barbecue and the next. You can eat it. It's not too tough to eat. I think that's a basic. It tastes good.
Yeah.
It's got to taste good. It's got to have the right flavor, and then there's the originality, and then tradition. So you got to kind of keep all this balanced out with a good bread. It just seems like it can get really complex if you wanted it to, and there's so much cool things you can do with brisket, and barbecue and sausage. And you're making your own sausage, right?
Yep, we make all of our sausage in house. We have 2 links that are on the menu every day. It's just a jalapeno and cheese, and then our house link, which is just lots of fresh garlic and black pepper. And then we rotate a third one in. It's a special about every other week or so. We've done Spanish rice boudin. We've done Italian sausage. We've done, blue cheese.
Spanish rice
and onion.
boudin sounds amazing. Wait a minute, what was the blue cheese thing?
We do blue cheese, caramelized onions, and an all beef link. We have a lot of different links we kind of rotate throughout.
Wow. And do you do any catering? I mean,
Yeah, we do a ton of catering. That's a lot of
I think
a lot
so.
of what we do. We did 2 weddings this past Sunday. So we had an 11 o'clock wedding, which no one should ever do an 11 o'clock wedding. That's way too early for an open bar. And then we did an 8 o'clock wedding that same night in Willis. So catering's a big deal for us.
You can't say you've been drinking all day unless you get
Unless you start at 10, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's the only way that really qualifies. But it does make for a wonderful dance floor there at the end.
Yeah.
We get some of those good videos that are fun to share for a lifetime of marriage.
Yeah, we've seen some incredible dancing as we've done these weddings. Yeah.
Okay, so favorite thing on the menu?
Personally, I eat the turkey. It's kind of my thing. I
You
eat
smoke
every
turkeys
day.
too?
I
Oh,
love
cool.
our smoked turkey. But people show up and brisket's always the first thing that sells out, and then usually it's sausage. So
You got ribs too, right?
yeah, we do everyday proteins are brisket, ribs, turkey, 2 kinds of sausage. We do chicken quarters for poultry. We do pulled pork, and then Saturdays we do the dinosaur beef ribs on Saturdays.
Oh yeah, I like that. We had this one we went to. I think it was the Merrill's Meat Market, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was because it's on Walden Road.
Yep.
I live out there in Walden, and I got one. He's like, got any short ribs, beef short ribs? I was like, and he's like, well, I don't know if I'd call it a short rib. I went in there, this thing was this big.
big old plate
It
rib,
barely
yeah.
fit in my crock pot. I was like, I'm not. I set it down in there, and it came out great, but. I've been working on how to soften those up too, and that's tough. That I'm getting it. I mean, it's getting close, but I'm trying to get them softer and stuff. But man, that's tough meat to start with. You really got to work it in there. Not like that chuck roast was different, but man, the chuck roast came out great. There was only a few that seemed like that stew meat. Where it kind of pieces, little threads come off. It's like strips.
Absolutely.
But after. It was a bit of it, and it's got like all kinds of weird eyes in it. When it looks like you get that one bit in the middle of chucks like that, and it has its own texture, and then you get this other one a little more fatty. It has
of
its
different muscles on
yeah.
that
There
one.
was lots of different bits of that. So I want to tell you how it came out amazing, but there was one part that was more like I stewed it. You know what I mean? Like it was in a soup.
Just put sauce on it, put it on a bun, man. It's all good.
Yeah, but when
It
I chopped it up, it came out right. But I wanted to slice it like brisket slices. I even tied it to 2 of them together to get one big brisket looking one.
Yeah.
When we marinated that thing, and we were using all kinds of weird stuff, like a little a little vanilla extract and a little other things to tenderize the meat. But, anything that was a wood derivative was an option. You know what I mean? If it began with wood, it can come back to this grill.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it would sweeten it up, give it a little taste. And some of like an alcohol does, when you have like a Jack Daniels to it or your wood or your marinade or something, or a bourbon or something. That same sweetness, the vanilla did it, but without that alcohol hit. Which was good because I liked it. It put a nice taste to it. And the other part was that I'm still kind of figuring out. We cooked an open barbecue, but I used some wood that gave it all a weird taste. I don't know. The wood had like a tart taste to it, but we know it was the wood. You could tell, it's the wood you're using that did that. And I'm looking at my cord over there, and it's like, last from that cord, and a little bit from that one, and that one. They're all from different places. You know what I mean? And I'm looking over at my pile going, oh, yeah, I'm just screwed all together because I have no idea which wood is which.
Yeah, I've been there. I get that.
That taste, it was awkward. It wasn't good, and I don't know what it was. Maybe it was some older oaks or some different kind of oak or, I don't know. But wood's real important. I mean,
It's very important.
And how'd you meet this guy that gives you the wood from Dallas? You said, right?
Austin,
yeah.
Through social media,
You just knew it was going to make the taste right.
Saw it, saw what he was doing, kind of knew what I was looking for, and saw pictures of some stuff he posted, and knew that was the guy we wanted to use. And it's going on about 3.5, 4 years now of using him and no one else. And he's
getting that flavor
he's
right.
dropping off 3 chords here in about 20 minutes. So.
Keeping it burning. The hours of operation.
We are Wednesday through Saturday. Wednesday through Friday, we're lunch only, so it's 10:45 until we sell out, till it's gone.
Correct.
And then Saturday, we open up at 8 o'clock for breakfast, and we go till 10:30, and then 10:45 till we sell out for lunch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I want to share a breakfast item that was so unique to me. I love to eat, man. Can you tell?
Yeah, absolutely. I do.
So
too.
we take that smoked turkey that you were talking about, and we'd cube it a little bit, best you could, just diced, and then we'd mix it with like a cheese onion mix, like a little Velveeta cheese, that Rico's ballpark style, and then we'd put that onion cheese smoked turkey mix into the omelet. And then just do a big 3-egg long thin one, and then just roll that up and pour that over the top. Yeah. Oh man, those smoked meat omelets were just outstanding. I haven't had one of those since Lafayette. We went down there for some T-Coons breakfast.
Our big breakfast item is we do biscuits and gravy, but instead of using sausage, we use chopped beef in it. So you've got brisket and gravy, and then we make house-made kolaches for Saturday as well. So we stuff those with either brisket or sausage, or we've done 10,000 different variations of stuff you can put in a kolache.
You ever smoke any barbacoa?
Yeah, we used to do barbacoa quite a bit. It's gotten really, really expensive lately, so we kind of dropped it off the menu.
You could cheat with some of that chuck roast, a chuck roast, and cheat with that.
It's just hard to replicate true barbacoa. That's got kind of just.
But even people that love barbacoa, there's they don't like any fat in it. They don't like this. They don't like that. It's got to be clean. It's got to be right. And they want to throw everything else away that comes out of that barbacoa cut. You know what I mean? It's like you end up with this, and then so it's, and there's a lot of meat that have similar, but you can tell the difference, So as long as you package it the right way and let them know, hey, this is barbacoa, chuck mix, that brings on that flavor that, use your own.
We've learned barbacoa is like a Saturday thing. Because we get, it's a different crowd for us on Saturdays. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's pretty much all locals there for lunch. And then Saturday's your barbecue travel crowd. And there's enough places doing barbacoa now that people know what it is. And
there's only like a couple that are good. You know what I mean? La Palma makes a great barbacoa taco, and there's never any fat in it. It's not oil running out one side. You know what I mean? It's just clean. It's good. It's something we were talking about meats that have that clean taste, versus either being gamey or just having a weird, awkward wood taste that overbears the meat.
Absolutely.
I mean, I still want it flavorful. I want it to be soft, flavorful. It's got to meet all those. It's a fine line. And are you on that regular pattern of barbecue where you try to keep that line straight all the time and just make sure it's the same wood, the same this, same that, all the briskets are done like this? This is how that is.
Absolutely. You know, like I said, we cut a tray every day. We're trying every side, that's a lot of restaurants, and if they tell you they do, a lot of them are lying. But I know a lot of people, you know, they don't try their food often enough. I think that's one of the biggest things.
You gotta check for consistency. You know,
Yeah,
I want to be the same brisket people love me for. You know what I mean? If it's good and we're on point, let's keep it there. You know, and make sure it stays that way. Are you mentoring another pitmaster?
We've got a guy here right now. He'll be here till Sunday. Yeah. And we pretty much have someone at the restaurant just about for the rest of the year that'll be out doing the same thing.
And you have a website that we can go?
barabbq.com.
barabbq.com. And what number could they use for catering?
940-445-0148. And that goes straight to me. That's my cell phone.
There you go. Call Bar A Barbecue. Get your event catered. Any size limits, anything goes.
Any size. We just did 1,200 for MISD about a month ago. We can do as small as 10 or as much as 1,200. So
there you go. That's awesome, man. Well, I'm glad you took the time to get away from the pit, get out here. I mean, I appreciate it, and I understand what it takes to leave the restaurant and come out today. And glad you made it. Well, we're going to share it. We're going to let them know where you're at, and we're going to come out and eat some barbecue. I know we have some talk about the team here at Lone Star Community Radio heading down there next week. There's some other stuff that we're doing out there in Montgomery. Come by, say hi. Come visit, eat some barbecue. Maybe we can get the ladies out there from Alamo, One Property Group. Maybe we'll get them all to gather up together and buy us a barbecue plate.
Come on out, man. Come on out.
We'll do it. Hey, thank you for coming, Mr. Cooper. I appreciate you.
Thank you, buddy.
We'll be right back after this with the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show.
Lone Star Radio on my mind.
Every Friday, tune into Texas Ticket on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM with Armando Nino of Gold Lake Conroe, focusing on Montgomery County area events and places. Get a feel of the Texas spirit at the event, paired with guest and vendor interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas Ticket. Welcome back to the Texas Ticket. This is Armando with the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show. Folks, there's a lot of stuff happening. I'm going to go through it pretty quick. And I'm going to try and stick to this weekend. I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming on next week, and you can catch next week on Friday at 1 o'clock as always. You can catch next week's Texas Ticket show. We'll have all the upcoming October stuff, or some of them. There's a lot of things coming with Halloween, and the holidays start coming, and man, they're all over and all around us. One of the things that's going to kick off in October that is October 7th, right at the beginning there, is the Texas Renaissance Festival. Queen's birthday kicks it off. They got some new pricing out there. They've got some bundles for camping if you want to just have that experience and to get out there and see what it's all about, what all the hoopla is about, what draws almost 750,000 people every year to Todd Mission, Texas. And that's right outside of Montgomery, just down 105 West. Take a left there in Plantersville, and it take you right to the Texas Renaissance Festival. And that starts October 7th. And the Queen's birthday kicks it off, opening weekend. We also have one of our events in focus is the 90s Fest. And this is an upcoming, it's at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds, Saturday, September 30th at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds. You can see it at Texas90sFest.com, and that'll have Pam Tillis. There are so many other, I saw the list of musicians that are going to be out there. Looks like a fabulous event, and we always see Charlie Diggs sponsor really good promotions. That's a Barsh Auto sponsored event, and a few others, of course, but one close to our heart. They'll be out there Saturday, September 30th. See Texas90sFest.com for more information. So starting the 9 to 5 show starts this weekend, tomorrow, 7:30 to, I think it's 9:30, 8:30, 7:30, 8:30 at Crichton Theater. And that is the 9 to 5, the old working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Yeah, the old Dolly Parton. That's right, Dolly Parton. Also, there is the same day, Saturday, September 23rd, down in Magnolia Park. I'm sorry, Magnolia, Texas, at Unity Park. That's John Wolf, Jake Bush, Jesse Robb Jr. They're going to be out there for the Patriots of Texas Festival 2023. September 23rd's Piano Punch over at Pacific Yard House. Love those. Those are so much fun. We have a good time out there for those things when I make it, and they always chop up my songs, like I want to hear the whole song, but then there's so many people trying to ask for songs, but I completely enjoy the whole experience, even when they only play, part of my song. They can't play everybody's whole song, but they keep it going, and they duel. So there's like 2 parts of a song happening almost back to back, or they contribute for a song, which all is really cool. If you enjoy that, that is happening at Pacific Yard House, and I can't say enough about how much fun they are to be in the audience and to really get into the music, and just it stays busy when it moves that quickly. So one of the other things, I want to go see Jelly Roll. That's tonight from 7 to 11 at the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion. That's tonight out there. It starts at 7, ends at 11. Backyard Baptism Tour 2023. That's tonight. Moonshine Deck out at the Texas Sundown Band. That is Saturday, September 23rd again at the Moonshine Deck Ice House in Magnolia. And that's a new place. It's really nice. Got a nice kid zone. I want to say it's family friendly, but this is later in the evening. I don't know. I don't know how that handles, but it's got such a big play area. It's kind of hard to dodge family friendly there. Anyway, Moonshine Deck. And that is September 3rd. Texas Sundown Band. Texas Sundown Band. Yep, that's it. What else do we got? The bike rally's coming up in Galveston. A lot of talk about that. Get some exact dates next Friday. I know a lot of folks of ours run out there for the October Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We met a lot of those over at the Moco Fashion Show at the Shout House last weekend. And they're all gearing up. Everybody's gearing up for support of breast cancer. The Thin Blue Line group, I believe, makes it out to the bike rally out in Galveston, and a few other groups do that. And it is a huge deal, one of the largest of its kind in the nation. Definitely one of the top ones in the state. It's a big deal. And there's another group I wanted to mention, and we do have October Fest at Shout House next month. So I just want to include that in there. Lots of October events coming up in relation to breast cancer support, as well as the holidays. And I think we got the Catfish Festival. It just goes on and on and on. So we'll bring all those. We'll kind of organize those the best we can for next week, and see you next Friday about that. Tonight also at 202 North Main, and right down the street here from the studio, 202 North Main, it has Nightbird. It's they were at the ones at Bernhardt Winery out there in Plantersville. They're the Fleetwood Mac tribute band, and all tributes are not created equal. I'll tell you, Fleetwood Mac's tribute band brings it, and they do very well. We've seen them several times, and they really bring on a real feel. She's really good. She reminds me a lot of Stevie Nicks, and the band just on point, in tune with everything that goes on there. And if you're familiar with Fleetwood Mac, it's a duo kind of, Stevie Nicks and what's his name? Fleetwood Mac's male. Oh gosh, I think it's Fleetwood Mac. But they both sing some of the songs. You'll notice that a lot of those songs are sang by both of them. But and the gentleman that sings with her is very good, and the band, it complements. It's in tune. It's a great go, and that's over at 202 North Main tonight. You catch it from 8 to 11 p.m. And that's more of an intimate environment. She should have an opportunity to visit with you, and photos, signing autographs. You can check out 202 North Main and see a little bit about that. That's tonight over there. Wow. Every Sunday the Kimbros are doing the Meet the Musicians over at the Table at Medley. You want to bring that out there, and that's Ben Blankenship and the Kimbros and a few other groups that are putting that on for you. That's over at the Table at Medley every Sunday. Now, the Kimbros also putting in those, burning that midnight oil, putting in that overtime. September 23rd, the Kimbros will be from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Big Easy Crawfish and Oyster Bar in Huntsville, Texas. And if you haven't seen the Kimbros, I don't know. It was a stormy night, and the Kimbros were on stage, and they insisted on playing anyway out at Papa's on the Lake, and wind was blowing all the 90s hair, the 80s hair, you know. There was that just going, and they played hard through the storm, and it was like, I watched that whole show going, I don't know if it's this cool all the time, but the storm sure helped the Kimbros kill it. We also saw them at the boat show out at Margaritaville a few years back, and that was fabulous. So the Kimbros in Huntsville, Texas, at 2707 Sam Houston Avenue at the Big Easy Crawfish and Oyster Bar tomorrow night, September 23rd, 7 to 10 p.m. What else do we have? Okay, well, there is a Strategic Minds in the Grand Central Park Conroe area there in Marcel Plaza, right in front of the neighborhood there between 45 and the South Loop. And they do games and gaming, and, you know, have their dice and their not video games, board games. It's traditional. They have gaming events in their place, which was new to me. I saw them at the Cards and Collectibles show at the Hyatt Grand Central, and I should have known they were next door. But anyway, I got to meet the guys and what they do, and they were asking if I wanted to come see what they do. And so they told me about this thing happening Saturday between 1 and 6 p.m. So it's during the day. You can come do this and then go to any one of the pre-mentioned shows practically. Strategic Minds, 1205 Grand Central Parkway, Suite 500. There is a D&D event, Curse of the Strahd. And supposedly there's a dungeon master that's renowned, and he's going to be there to really make it an adventure. So if you're an old school, you know, Dungeons and Dragons guy, or you're a modern Dungeons and Dragons guy, this will be an opportunity to come out and check it out, or participate and play, and I don't know, peruse the items they have there. It's pretty unique. It's a really neat shop. I hadn't seen some of the things in there in a long time. If you haven't been to a comic shop or a board game shop, you know, go check those out. They're an up and coming trend, and I've seen a lot of them popping up around the area. And they're opening up their genre, their mixed offering, and it's got some different things that are new, and some of the things that are just super nostalgic. So it's really neat to see one here at home in our backyard for you to go check out. And that's it for the events that I have that I wanted to mention today. But we wanted to give a few shout outs. Now, all our favorite people, Eclipse Rising has been doing a lot of aerial for us, and really wanted to compliment their work, and just ongoing, regular, young company. Southern Star Brewing, they're doing the Brisket U this weekend, and the Texas Renaissance Festival was looking after us, bringing us a bunch of tickets we gave out. And we still have more. If you'd like some tickets, just send the station an email, ask. That's it. Or just let us know, you know, and we'll get you some tickets to the Texas Renaissance Festival. We got pairs of 2 while supplies last. Lifetime Green Coatings, they donated some ponchos for our Conroe Cares packages, the homeless offer gift blessing bags that we give out throughout day after day as we can, and anytime someone asks us for change, I hand them a Visit Conroe bag full of snacks and Lunchables. They're like, oh, okay. Here you go. It's your lucky day. Thank them for that. Lifetime Green Coatings. Barsauto.com, always looking after some of these events. They're the sponsor for the 2 or 3, the 90s Fest, and some of the other things happen up and coming. Thank you for keeping it live, keeping it strong for us, Barsh. Bar A Barbecue. Thank you for coming out, and what a nice treat. I wish you would have brought some barbecue, though. I was told I should have asked. Like, dang. Next time. I think we really will drag ourselves out there and get to Montgomery and eat some barbecue. That sounds like a plan. And, a bad plan is better than no plan. Folks, thank you for watching the show. Thank you for watching the Texas Ticket. We'll be back next week, Friday, 1 o'clock. You can catch the Texas Ticket, or you can watch the show at facebook.com/TXTicket. We run on sponsors and supporters just like yourselves. Please feel free to make a donation in the link down below and contribute to the show. Ask about sponsorship to the program and get involved. We'd love to have you guys on the show. Until next time, thank you. This has been the Texas Ticket Show on Lone Star Community Radio.